This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
What's up, real MVPs? I did it. Dub them knees. This is the Mark Weber on the onside kick. This week joined by Dave Oster.
Hey, everybody.
And what we're going to be doing today is talking football. Because what else do we do on the onside kick?
It's true.
And we got some awesome topics today. Talking about the Washington Redskins, Alex Smith, his injury, what that means for that team. How about Jalen Ramsey in the Jacksonville Jaguars? Seems like there might be a little bit of something going on, something brewing.
Just a smidge.
Maybe they're going to be parting ways in the future. And then the Baltimore Ravens. Is Joe Flacco done with that team? Is he getting replaced by Lamar Jackson? And all of that's going to be good, but we're going to follow it up with our picks for Week 12, Turkey Week, Thanksgiving. But of course, some housekeeping here. If you like this podcast, go ahead and hit the like button. It's a little thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel and see even more things. See stuff about basketball because that's going on. A lot of stuff going on here. If you like college sports, we got that as well. Tons of stuff going on MVP. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes, and then you can just get this straight to your phone. That's pretty useful, pretty helpful. And you can give us a 5-star review there. But a couple other things you can do. Things like getting a MVP t-shirt on mostvaluablepodcast.com or going to our Patreon and donating some money. $10 will get you on the podcast. So you can do that. Let's talk about the Washington Redskins. This is an interesting one.
Yikes.
Because this team was good for a while. They were looking good. They kind of stumble a little bit, but they're still looking good. They're on top of the division.
Yep.
Alex Smith, horrible injury. And from what I heard this morning, what I was reading was it seems like the bone had come out to the world to say hello. It pierced his skin.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see it, not like the March Madness tournament.
Oh, my God.
What was that,
4K
4 years
HD,
ago?
just bone, just right through.
God. And I still remember the meme of from The Lion King, the little monkey standing up there.
Oh, my God.
Because, of course, it's the internet. What are you
I know,
do?
yeah, we're terrible people.
We are. But it's a gruesome injury. Alex Smith, who is 34 years old, this is not the time you want a big injury like this to his leg. But, Dave, I got to ask, what does this mean for the Washington Redskins right now?
Means they're going to hit the panic button just a smidge here. Look, Alex Smith by no means was like killing it. He's not Pat Mahomes-esque, and I know he was just replaced by Pat Mahomes, so I'm going to take the cheap shot and make that reference.
Yeah.
But he was a very good quarterback. He was consistent. He made clear passes. He had a pretty well-rounded game, smart guy, and he was someone you could rely on pretty heavily. So going forward, they're in trouble because the run game has been hit or miss this year. Obviously, getting a lot of work out of Adrian Pearson, which is awesome. I personally love it because I never thought he was done because he's all day, baby.
And if it's going to happen, let it happen somewhere besides the NFC North.
Yeah, exactly.
But go be good over there.
But I mean, no, it's an honest. It's a huge problem because you look at their backups, and obviously Colt McCoy stepped in, but can he win games?
Colt McCoy lost his starting job for a reason.
I say up to this point in his life, the answer is no. Outside of Texas, so I don't know. They're in deep shit right now, Mark.
Yeah, it's interesting. They pick up Mark Sanchez just in case, and I joke in our fantasy football group chat that's like, "Hey, pick up Mark Sanchez. He's going to play. I don't care that he's the backup. He's going to probably play." Colt McCoy is not that good. This is the unfortunate thing for the Washington Redskins. They are on top of their division right now.
Yeah.
But they're only up by a game over Dallas, 2 over Philadelphia. And you know who has been coming on hot right now, winning 2 games in a row? The New York Football Giants. They're coming in. They've only lost 7 games. They can 9-7 their way.
Games.
They can 9-7 their way into a Super Bowl again.
Sorry, I see the viable threat as Dallas still. Their team that has the right pieces. It's honestly just a lot on Dak Prescott, and the Eagles just got shellacked. So I can't really speak to them. But
yeah,
no, I mean you're right though. Like they've got the division. What are they going to do with it?
And they have to kind of let Adrian Peterson carry the way, let the defense step up and shut teams down like they've been able to do time in, time out, with the exception, of course, of the loss to the Saints, really. They've been able to shut teams down. When you can shut down teams like the Packers, the Panthers, those are big wins right there against good teams with good, talented quarterbacks. And you can have this path to success. What I'm scared of for the Washington Redskins is this just a morale killer? Is this just going to be like, well, our quarterback we just spent a lot of money on, he's gone, possibly forever?
Yeah, I mean, a man of his age and an injury like that, it's not out of the question. I mean, like, could we just get the one thing that was just spooky was it was the Joe Theismann repeat.
Yeah.
33 years to the day. Theismann's there, same team, same matchup, and
same score?
Similar injuries, I think it was same score even, like somebody said. So, like, that's just spooky, but just, I mean, yeah, Alex Smith, after going through everything in his career, and I was a huge Alex Smith defender from the times going all the way back to his time on the 49ers. I thought he was always undervalued for what he could do and what he was able to deliver. But, at 34, coming back from this injury, going to be 35 next year is just, that's going to ask a lot out of a quarterback who was fairly mobile in his time. He wasn't exactly going to go ahead and run, for like 80 yards a game, but he could get you a first down and grit it and just run. So it's scary. I look at the next matchups, though. I mean, they've got, obviously, Dallas, Philly, and Giants, like, back-to-back for the next 3 weeks. Good news is Adrian Peterson had decent games. Like, against Dallas, it was 24 carries, 99 yards. Philly was... didn't have it. And then the Giants, he actually did 26 carries for 149. He had a pretty big breakout run. But, like, honestly, like, he is the workhorse back. He's proven he's able to handle it again this year. My money is on them going conservative play calling. Keep Colt McCoy to, don't make mistakes. They're a team that their defense is capable enough to not lose them games outright. So if they work with heavy pass or a heavy run game and just let Colt McCoy make smart and safe decisions, like, I see this team being able to limp along. And I don't know if I don't want to give them a playoff like spot because it's just Dallas has looked really good.
Yeah, and it's tough because this team was struggling to get into the playoffs with Kirk Cousins, who's a much better quarterback than Colt McCoy, obviously. If they're struggling to get into the playoffs with him, Alex Smith is a great quarterback, despite what someone like Sean Anderson wants to say.
Seriously, Sean.
But Colt McCoy's not going to get it done. And Adrian Peterson, he's going to be sitting there going, this reminds me of something. This reminds me of being in Minnesota, having terrible quarterbacks, and having to face stacked boxes on every single play.
You're right.
And Adrian Peterson still was able to get it done, but he was a younger man back then. He was different time for him. I don't know if he can get it done again. I just feel like when I look at this schedule, I look at teams like the Cowboys. Yeah, sure. When they played the Cowboys last time, they won, but it was very close. Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott are developing that relationship still.
A little bit, yeah.
We have that. We got 2 games against the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. Yep. I don't know what's going on with the Eagles right now. That was an absolutely embarrassing loss. Maybe, Reich or DeFilippo were pretty important to their success, and now they're gone. I'm not sure. Maybe Carson Wentz is not all that we thought he was.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing out some of the narratives right now because the Eagles are a huge mystery at the moment. But we have that. The Giants are getting hot enough to where they can maybe win a game against the Redskins.
It's true. No, at this point,
they were only a touchdown away last time.
Yeah, and I mean, like Saquon's just continued to impress, and any given day, Eli Manning can turn it on.
Yeah.
Thankfully, for most teams, he doesn't. But any given day, you can't count the Giants out just because of their weapons available to them.
Exactly, and they're a team that is starting to figure things out. It seems like it's taking a while, but hey. Better late than never unless you're going for the draft pick.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are there. That's going to be at Jacksonville. I'm sorry, but Colt McCoy is going to get destroyed against that defense. We got the Titans and then the Eagles again. I sit here and I look at this and I think, they're probably going to lose 4 of these games.
Yeah.
Making them just 8-8, right in the middle of the pack, which might not be a terrible thing in the sense that this is not a strong quarterback class anyways. So maybe if you like one of these quarterbacks, they can fall to you.
It's true.
Because you just paid Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry, not Kirk Cousins. You got rid of him. Alex Smith, money, but he's going to be 35. There's no guarantee that he's going to get the motion back for his leg. This is a big deal for a 35-year-old quarterback. He might not be coming back. He might just say, no, I'm done. Even if he is like, I would play, but I'm going to have to miss a whole season next year. Not saying that he will, but potentially he might have to miss a good chunk of that season. Then he's 36 years old going into it. It doesn't happen. Not everybody's Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Peyton Manning that can play that long into their 40s. That doesn't happen that often. Alex Smith might not be one of those guys. He is on his 3rd team as well right now.
True.
So the Redskins might decide to move on from Alex Smith if they have their opportunity to do so. Unfortunately, there's really no free agent quarterback for them next year. There's not a big Kirk Cousins coming out. There's not an Alex Smith for this year. There's nobody really out there that's going to be a big, hot option. Tyrod Taylor, I mean, that's going to probably be your best option for a top-name quarterback. You're hoping Alex Smith comes back.
You could always try to bribe the Saints for their backup quarterback after they just paid the Jets for him, but it's
Teddy Bridgewater,
a guy who with obviously an injury history, but he looks like a good quarterback still. So, there's Colt McCoy's not the answer long term. We all know that.
No, neither is Mark Sanchez.
I mean, question mark on that. The Sanchez.
Yeah, he might come back.
He was like a quarterback whisperer last year for the Bears. I loved him.
Yeah, I mean,
I liked having him around. I don't want him to actually be a quarterback, but he's a good guy to have on the sideline.
Yeah, he'll be an offensive coordinator someday, I'm sure.
But honestly, I think you're right. Like there's a high likelihood this team ends up right at 8-8. And they're going to miss the playoffs at 8-8. I don't think 8-8 gets you in right now.
No, and the NFC East is so gridlocked at the moment. But so if it's not the Washington Redskins, and you had to take a guess right now, who do you think would be taking this division?
Momentum with me is in Dallas. That's a team that seems to have some things clicking right now. Their defense is playing up, and obviously you're actually getting contributions from your quarterback Dak, who people have been doubting, rightfully so, up to the last couple of weeks of this year because he had just not been producing on the same level he did when he initially came out in 2016. So they got him the big weapon in Amari Cooper. Zeke's obviously a monster. They still have a decent O-line. Like there's enough there that they should be able to win most weeks competitively. And that's I go back to basically it's just conservative Redskins offensive playbook now. And like you said, Adrian Pearson, 8 in the box, 9 in the box. What are they going to do? Like run them into a brick wall? Obviously, they've got injuries as far as like Chris Thompson. Like he's never healthy, so I can't really count on a guy like him to help be an explosive playmaker. But it's just the Redskins are in a really shitty place, and there's no, like you said, there's no golden goose at the end of this one. You can't go out and grab someone in free agency or hopefully someone drops off in waivers or something. Like that's just not a thing right now. So no, I mean it is almost a season end. It's almost a season end unless we get some uncharacteristically great play out of Colt McCoy, which I don't know. Like I watched him come in that first drive in, and when he went and scored a touchdown, like he had a good drive. It scared the hell out of me that he ran, and so you do realize that like there's no backup quarterback, and you just decide to do a quarterback draw. And like not slide well.
You just saw somebody get injured. You realize that, right?
2 plays later, let's quarterback sneak it now. So no, like Colt obviously has to play a little more conservatively, but Jesus, they're in a rough place right now. As the Redskins are concerned, like their season is totally in the air.
Yeah, it's interesting to me, and I really don't know who's going to take this division from the Redskins because I do think the Redskins. 9-7 is the best I think they could do right now. I really think 8-8 is pretty likely.
Yeah.
But I look at teams like the Philadelphia Eagles who maybe could take it from them. But like we said, we really don't know what to expect out of the Eagles. And no team in this division has an easy end to their schedule right now. The Eagles are going to play the Giants, then the Redskins. Maybe those two can be wins. but then they got to go to Dallas. They got to go to LA to play the Rams. They're going to play the Texans and then the Redskins again. Sitting at 4-6, 3 of those games easily could be losses.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting at 7-9. That you're not getting in the playoffs with that. And if you asked me last week, I probably would have said, yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to put it together and they're going to win. But then this insane Saints game happened where that was the game we were supposed to see in the NFC Championship game. And I don't care what anybody says. Sean Payton's like, yeah, I just didn't want them to come back. No, there was some salt in the wound of, I want you to know we would have beaten you last year.
Yeah.
We would have gone to the Super Bowl. That's what I think that was. Then for the Dallas Cowboys, they got to play the Redskins, the Saints. I'm sorry, no way Dallas is beating the Saints. The Eagles, the Colts, who have been surprisingly
Alex Smith
good.
is playing really well right now.
Yeah. Andrew Luck's doing a great job. Hasn't been sacked
Andrew Luck. Yeah.
like 5 games. They're pulling something together. Another team with a new coach that's starting to figure things out. Buccaneers, Dallas Cowboys can beat the Buccaneers and then the Giants, but it's at New York. So another one where if I had to guess, I'm saying the Dallas Cowboys probably lose 2 of these games, looking at 9-7.
Yeah.
So they're probably the most likely to take this one, thinking that I'm going to say Washington's a 8-8 team, just kind of barely squeaking their way into the playoffs. But unfortunately for the Dallas Cowboys, I don't feel that confident in them being able to get out of the first round.
No.
Any of these teams right now, with the way Philadelphia is playing, if any of them get into the playoffs, which someone has to.
Clearly, you just have the Giants run the table. I mean, that's the obvious choice for everybody at home.
If they do, if the Giants win out and everybody else goes 8-8 and below, then they go in and they probably win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and
that's the most Eli Manning thing that he could do at this point in his career.
And then he retires.
Say, as a man who was almost fired, who's benched it last year
for Geno Smith, which is a joke.
I don't even know that was. Yeah, that should have ended a career.
He would basically leave, go into the locker room, call Peyton, and say, "Hey Peyton, I told you I was better.
Beat you.
I told you I was a better quarterback."
Yep.
Hangs up the phone. And then he calls him back, and I'll take 1 Papa John's pizza. But anything else with this with the Washington Redskins? Should the fans be worried? Should they panic? Should they give up on Alex Smith? What's anything? Any last things that we haven't said?
Yes, all of those things. Panic, give up, freak out. Like this is, and look, you were a team that was performing. You were a team that was performing really well. Words don't want to make sense right now.
You was
performing well. But by no means was this a team in all reality that was going to compete with the Saints, the Chiefs, or the Rams. Like, those 3 teams are by far and away the best teams in the league. And, yeah, I know, you could have good seasons, and, like, expectations shouldn't be set Super Bowl bust every year. So, like, you were a good team, you were a playoff team at the start of the year, and, had Alex Smith stayed healthy, 100%, I would have had you in. Like, you guys moved the ball really well on offense. Defense is solid. With him gone, I think the expectation now is figure out what you've got with Colt McCoy, see if you can use Adrian Peterson's last ounces of athleticism to carry you in through the end of the season, and just reevaluate the start of next year, because like you just got to find a healthy roster. Like the injuries have really crippled this team, and I think Alex Smith, I would not hold out hope that he will be back in a healthy form next year. I think that you do the prudent move and you go look for a quarterback in round 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah. And it's not even like they've got a lot of time for Colt McCoy to prepare. They're playing on Thursday.
There you go.
So
that might be better though.
Got to play on Thanksgiving. Yeah, maybe, because the
less
other team doesn't have
any
any
head.
Yeah, and the other team can't prepare for you really, because when's the last time anyone's seen Colt McCoy play? So that's not that big of a deal. But Washington Redskins fans, we want to know what you think. What's the season going to be like for you? Are you panicking? Are you ready to give up on Alex Smith, or do you think he's going to come back? And anybody else in the NFC East? Are you going to take this division? Let us know down below in the comment section if you're on YouTube.